Do you think the world needs saving? And if so, how?
Okay. It's an interesting question. I definitely think the world needs to we need to raise our level of consciousness. I don't have too much doubt about that. And I think that we've made a tremendous move in the right direction as of November 4th. And I feel like there is hope, and that in this race that I've been talking about for some 9 years, 10 years, between self-destruction and saving the planet as we know it, because of course the planet will survive long beyond us. I feel like we've made the right choices recently, and that we're now moving in an excellent direction. I do feel probably more positive than I ever have since the early November, and feel like that some of the predictions that have been made, that maybe by 2012 we will shift the level of consciousness. I was saying so, but now I really, really feel it's a good, strong possibility that in the next 3 to 4 years that a tremendous amount will be happening in that direction. I think we all need to get behind this movement of waking up and raising consciousness. I don't think it's going to be any one individual. I think there are many leaders. I think obviously President-elect Obama is a great political leader. There are great spiritual leaders, and there are great leaders within the business field, people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and others, and there's a lot of celebrities. And I think everyone is trying to do something. And if we all come together like we would if a car or a bus stalled and we had to push it, we all get behind it, even if it's slightly downhill, and give our best effort, we're going to make it. The bus will start. But if we don't, even though it's slightly downhill, it's not going to get up enough momentum to make the consciousness shift that we need to make.
And how do you see spiritual work or spiritual growth in that collective effort?
Well, I think it's one factor, one aspect. It's definitely not the whole. I kind of divide spiritual and market mentality, or marketplace mind, spiritual mind, into a triangle. I've been working a lot with triangles lately, along with the big mind and big heart process, invoking different voices or different aspects of ourself. And the marketplace mind tends to be seen as almost opposed to the spiritual mind, or spiritual awakened mind. And I think when we look at it in a linear way, with the marketplace mentality, with our competitiveness, with our aggression, with our greed, with our need to succeed and all that over here, and we look at the spiritual, meaning that all this kind of stuff maybe seems too self-centered, too self-interest, too greedy, egotistical and all that, they seem to oppose one another. But in Zen tradition, we talk about the 10 ox herding pictures, and that 10 ox herding pictures actually being a path or a map of spiritual practice. If one really goes the distance, then the last picture of the 10 ox herding pictures is actually returning to the marketplace. And I feel that we need to do that on a global level, being that we move from the marketplace mind the first time maybe we really become awakened or spiritual, or have some kind of Kensho experience. And we tend to make this one over here, the marketplace mind, along with its competition and all that, wrong or bad or even evil. And we wish to be more compassionate, more loving, more helpful, more supportive. And not that this is wrong to be that, but we tend to disown this, and this becomes a shadow in the spiritual practitioner's world. And when we look at it as a triangle and we move to the apex, and we see that the marketplace mind and the spiritual mind are both absolutely necessary to succeed and for the world to make that leap, because we're going to need all the technology, we're going to need all the advanced achievements that we have on mass communication, as well as the spiritual understanding of love and compassion and wisdom. And we put those two together at the apex. We embrace and transcend these two. What actually we have is what the final goal, if we want to call it a goal or final aspiration, of what Zen practice is, which is to embrace our competitiveness, our greediness, not disown it, but actually work with it, become the master of it over here, and work with our spiritual side as well.
So from a Zen perspective, is world peace a possibility?
Well, I don't know if we can answer that question. World peace, I probably doubt it. Waking up and having less conflict and less wars, I think is definitely a possibility. World peace, like we live happily ever after, I kind of doubt that, at least in our lifetimes. But I do think that we each have to make every bit of the effort that we can make towards that, even though we don't have maybe the anticipation or the expectation of seeing any of that in our lifetimes or even in our children's lifetimes or our grandchildren's lifetime. But we still can make that effort in that direction and feel good about what we're doing towards that, even if it may never happen. We have a saying in Zen, it's kind of like trying to fill a bottomless well with a teaspoon of snow each time. We just make the effort, not figuring that we're going to ever fill the well.